Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It is one of our first warm-ish days that we've had in a while. I got my beautiful Scat in my temperature controlled garage. Got my Pioneer ductless mini split. I set it at 64 and I put it on auto because if it gets too cold and it's set at like 68 or something like that, it'll bump up the heat too much and it'll start drawing more power. So I do 64 because it's a lot easier for it to produce cool than it is heat. So if I put it at like 68, then the heater would blast to try to get the room to 68. But the AC will just never be able to get the room to 64. So it just continues using a little bit of power and it's not really much. Works pretty good. It's actually really nice in here. It draws a lot of the humidity out. So where a lot of people have their car just in the garage, I have it in a temperature controlled garage. I take it one step further. That's how much I love this car, despite the fact that I go to a normal car wash and supposedly that messes it up. I still use these because I just don't trust my kids to not bash up my car. This thing only has like 13,000 miles on it. It really doesn't have any dings or much imperfection at all. And I'd like to try to keep it that way. You give you guys a cold start. Hopefully the battery is strong. Wrong car. Here's the right one. All the gauges are looking good, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to go grab an oil filter from AutoZone, and I'm not sure if they have Mopar filters, but I'll just get whatever the best one they have is, do the best I can. And of course this just takes a normal filter from 392. All those blocks use the same filter, so luckily no change for the 426. So let's get going. I haven't driven this thing in a while, so I'm pretty excited to drive it around. Pulling up at my local AutoZone. All right, so very exciting news here. I'm here at the AutoZone, and I was able to grab the same filter. I had to look. I was looking for the same one, and I didn't know the exact part number, so I just eyeballed them out until I found the right one. And this is the one that actually ProCharger comes with. So this is the same exact one that's on there. Oops. And then I also got a Mopar, genuine Mopar filter, which I'm sure everybody knew this and it's this assumption, but the 392 and the Hellcat take the exact same filter, as does the 426. So it's all like the same, based on the same block. But when I changed I was going to change it right now, but Pites has this hole drilled on the top to make sure it works with the breather correctly on the top of the intake. So yeah, not a big deal. I'll just do the same thing with the new filter. So they did have a cleaning kit there, but it was like it was $20, and this one's all bashed up anyway, so it just seems like better to just get a brand new one. So I'm here at Costco getting some of that good Costco gas. Look at that, $2.29, and it is top tier. So now that we got this Costco here, I'm set. 140 miles with a full tank. Talk about range anxiety. Okay, I'm at home now, and when I was driving, I got on it a few times, and I noticed it only went up to like 6-7 pounds. So I think we might be bleeding a little tiny bit of boost somewhere. I'm not sure if it just needs to be ran a little bit or something. I'm not really sure, but it maybe I wasn't holding it in the gear long enough. I'm not really sure, but it didn't seem like it was hitting the boost it should. Still felt fast, but wasn't hitting the boost. So I'm gonna take a look at all the hoses again, and maybe I got some suggestions to clean it all with alcohol and seal it really good. And I'll probably try that just to make sure we're not having any problems, especially at the track. And we'll also do the filter and the oil change and put on the drag radials. So let's get going. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is put the drag radials on because the car is still kind of warm and I don't want it to be scalding hot when I'm working under it to change the oil and to do the hoses. So we're just gonna do this right quick. All right, we're here under the car. I probably sound a little bit different because I had to take my mic off because it's just too big. But this is my first time actually changing the oil in this car by myself. Because I didn't have a garage for a part of it, so should be pretty easy. Just four little bolts to take off this access panel. So let me do that real quick. All right, I got that off, and it looks pretty simple actually. All right, there's the oil drain, and then here is the oil filter. So it's all actually pretty easy. It's nice, except for this panel you have to remove. But other than that, it's not too bad. Looking at my CV boots and all that, it looks not too bad. I don't think there's anything to lube on these chassis anymore. But you can see the orange block from Arrington. All right, I got my Mopar filter here, which is only $8.99, and they had them at AutoZone, so that's a good thing. And my Rotella. Oops. All right, all set. Got the new filter in, everything buttoned up, oil drained. Now I just need to add some Rotella, and we're all good. So what we're gonna do is first we're gonna put a full gallon of Rotella in, and this is 1540, and this is what Pite's recommended since this is an Arrington forged 426 block and not the standard stock. So now I'm going to pour about half of this one in. The car's inclined, I just want to make sure it's registering something. Yep, we got liquid in there, so after I lower the car, we'll do the rest, the final top off, but this should be about right. So now that brings us to securing all this good stuff. So I checked the one that was loose that caused the initial boost leak, and that one seems fine. So I'm just going to take these two off, and also the one right here that I can actually easily get to. And I'm going to clean everything with rubbing alcohol. I'm going to change this. I got a lot of stuff to do. Let's get started. So the other thing was to make the, I think it was to make the breather work right, and just, yeah, the catch can work correctly. Pite's put this on to give it some vacuum in the breather portion, like it's supposed to be, I guess. But anyway, so this, he basically just drilled a hole through here, through the top of this filter. I'm not sure if you can see it really good, but there's just basically a hole with that hose going through it. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the next one. Once again, I just wanted to make sure that they are actually the same, and they look pretty much identical. This one says Pro Charger on it, and this one says K&N, but you can tell that they're like the same size and same dimensions and everything. Like these are the same filters. So I just got to figure out what size hole that is, and then drill a hole in it in this one, and then we'll be all good. All right, so I got most of everything clean. I'm gonna start getting this part of the floor done. Alrighty, so we have the new filter. I cleaned all the connections. I drilled the hole for that, changed the oil. I put, I guess, about 6 quarts in it right now. I didn't do anything to these, but I redid these connections, cleaned everything with alcohol. I removed that odd shaped boot, cleaned it with the alcohol, cleaned the inside with the alcohol, cleaned everything with alcohol to make sure all the surfaces were good. I tried to make sure this was like as good and tight and perfect as possible. So I think we're probably in really good shape right now. It's all dark now, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop the car and top off the oil, and that should be it for today. All right, we're gonna check the oil one last time before we crank her up and make sure it's topped off. It's actually perfect, so we'll have to run it and let it fill up the filter and stuff, and then it should probably be good. Might have to add a little bit, but we'll see.